Dylan Smith is a Year 10 student at Fraser Coast Anglican College. He also happens to be pretty good at the triathlon. Good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
Tell us about some of your big events, national and state.
So last year I raced in the National Super Sprint Champs where I got 7th. It's like a weekend of racing, different races and different formats, and overall I got 7th. I also got 3rd at State Triathlon last year.
Tell us about the 3 disciplines involved. Which ones are you good at?
So triathlon consists of a swim, bike, run. My strengths are the run, and I've always had to work on the swim. It's always been a challenge of mine, but I'm slowly getting that back up.
When you think back to the national titles, what were your expectations when you were lining up?
I just wanted to have fun and see how I go. It was my first ever national title for triathlon, so I just wanted to race hard and see how that would end up.
And how did you end up?
Well, I placed 7th overall, so I was really happy with that.
And how many people were you up against?
There's around 33 people.
Now, normally people just specialise in one sport, but the triathlon obviously 3. How do you break that up in your training?
Yeah, it's difficult. So you try and do like a few sessions of each, and then you also try and mix some together. So you might do a bike and a run session just to get used to that transition, because in a triathlon you got to go from one to another.
Where would you like this sport to take you?
I just want to keep on enjoying the sport and go hard and train hard and see how they'll end up.
We've got a nice history of sport in the region, especially in Hervey Bay, because Matt Hauser was in the last Olympics and he was a student at Uranga. Do you get inspiration from people like that?
Yeah, I like to try and idolise Matt Hauser because he's gone through the same path as me. And
with the training program, take us through a week to week. Now, I know you've got Brian Hetherington, you've also got Caleb, and you've also got Kira. They're all helping in specialised areas. How much training do you put into a week?
I try and get 10 to 12 sessions a week. That's the goal. And just a mix of swim, bike, runs.
And with all that training, where would you like it to take you?
It'd be really good to continue doing the sport and end up as a pro, but that's still a long way away and it requires a lot of work.
Now, we're speaking here, you don't have to feel intimidated because we're at the Fraser Coast Anglican College. We're in the boardroom, no teachers around. How good has the school been?
The school is really helpful and supportive. Like when I have to go away for races, the teachers understand, and if I need extra time to catch up, they're happy to let that happen. And some teachers email me and come up to me and ask how I'm going, and it's just a really supportive community.
Now, most people fall into a sport. I don't know how you fall into a sport like being a triathlete, especially when you've got to do 3 sports. What was it that got you involved?
So I started as a runner when I was younger, and it was about 10 years old. My run coach just said that I'm just going to start doing a triathlon program, and I thought I'd just give it a go. And once I started, I just really enjoyed it and stayed with it, and here I am.
You have a lot of confidence. I can see that in you. What was it like when you were lining up for the national titles at Super Sprint? And we're also talking about the national titles and the state titles. How nerve-wracking is when you're lining up there at the start?
Yeah, it's always nervous because you always put a little bit of expectation on yourself. You want to do well with all the work you do. But I just try and trust in my training and just say I've done the work and just whatever happens, happens.
Well, whatever happens, you're a winner either way. Dylan, thanks for joining us on ABC Wide Bay.
Thank you.